JavaScript being the most used programming language in 2024 as per the survey by Stack Overflow, Node.js got the basic TypeScript support to lead the competition further. In the past few surveys, the most requested feature is to add static types to Node.js. That means developers want to run TypeScript code directly without installing any external dependencies. Now with Node 22.6, an experimental flag has been introduced to add basic TypeScript support. You can execute a TypeScript file just using Node without transpiling it to JavaScript. So there is a PR has been merged to the Node.js code to support the experimental flag. So here we can just say Node and the TypeScript file and execute it. So as the name suggests, this feature is very experimental. There are few limitations that we will discuss towards the end of the video. Here questions comes in your mind like how it works, how this type stripping works. The proposal is very clear. So the proposal is to use type as comment. Okay. So let me explain how it works. So we have this piece of code here. So as we know, anything between a slash star and star slash, we take it as a comment. And Node or JavaScript in JavaScript world, this is a comment, right? Similar to that, so we have here a constant and a type here and the value assigned to the constant. So with the type stripping, so we consider, Node will consider anything between a colon and equals as a comment. So when Node.js will strip this TypeScript code and convert to JavaScript, the code will look like something like this. If I copy this and paste it here, simply the type part will be stripped and also the comment as well as, right? So basically the code will, the TypeScript version is this one and the JavaScript version will be this one, right? So here we see like this part is stripped and it will just be like that. So this is a very simple scenario and there will be more complex requirement implementation will be there. Let's see this second example here. So we have a constant person and the type is declared as a object type here. So it has nested field like name, age, and when a Node.js node will execute this piece of code, it has to strip this complete type, static type here. So this will be a little bit complex than the previous one. Now let's execute this piece of code and see how it works. Currently my Node version is 20.16, which is earlier old version. So if we execute this piece of code using the previous node, you'll see a few errors, right? So if you execute, so we'll see these errors, right? But with the latest implementation, let's execute this code. First, we have to switch. Let's use the latest node 22.6. Yes. Now same code I can execute, but here I have to pass one flag, right? You see both the console messages are visible here. So This is working fine. You will see some more examples. Here I have a index.ts which has an import sum from another module, and the result is being printed in the console. And if you see the sum module here, so it has a simple function, sum function, which has two arguments, a and b, and it returns the addition of both the variables here. Let's execute this piece of code and see if it works or not. As you see, we can see the console message here, and this code is working fine. As I said earlier, there are few limitations with the implementation. There are 4 limitations actually, so let's discuss one by one. So this experimental strip types supports only inline type annotations. So features like enums and namespaces are not supported currently. The second limitation is, so the import statement requires explicit extension in the import statement. So if you see in our implementation here, so the sum module is imported, but the extension here it is mentioned. So if we remove this part of this extension here, this will not work. So this is required. Then the third limitation is, so if we want to import a type module, so we have to use the type keyword in the import. We will see this in the example how it will work. And the fourth point, it is the implementation, the feature is disabled for the node modules. It means, so the libraries, npm libraries, so if you want to export, we have to transpile to JavaScript, then we can export it. This is just to discourage developers to export the code with TypeScript currently. So let's move to the code and see how these limitations work. So let's define an enum here. I say fruits. Okay, let's save it and try to execute this piece of code. So now we see some errors here in the console. So it is saying enum is not supported in strip only mode. So as we mentioned, so this enum and namespaces those are not supported currently in this lightweight TypeScript feature. Let's say we have a interface person here, and it is being exported from this file, and we supposed to use this person interface in another module, index.ts. Here you are importing import person, and you are using for a constant person, right? And you are assigning some value, and you are trying to log it. So let's execute this code and see. So if you execute now, you see that there is some error in the console. It says that person.ta does not provide an export name person. So we discussed the one limitation, that we have to explicitly mention type keyword for importing types. So here, this particular import statement requires a type keyword here. So simply we have to just add a type keyword before the import, and I think this should work fine. Now let's execute. Now you see both the logs are working fine. We can see now the person is being logged here. So this was all about the experimental TypeScript support, which comes with some limitations as we discussed. and if we want to use the full support of TypeScript, then we have to use some libraries like TSX, and we can in this way we can get all the features of TypeScript. So I think this is all about the experimental support from TypeScript. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments. Thank you for watching.